It's Friday, May 8th, 2026. Welcome to the 7th special episode of the Alameda PostCast, an audio service of the Alameda Post. I'm your host, Scott Peeler. In this special edition, we're taking a look back at 4 years and over 200 episodes of the Alameda PostCast. We'll be back to our regular News Digest format next Friday, May 15th. Believe it or not, you're actually listening to a podcast that is in the top 1% of all podcasts. Oh, not for listenership. Alameda's kind of a small place for that. No, your support, both with your ears and your contributions, has allowed the Postcast to do something that few podcasts do. According to industry statistics, 90% of all podcasts do not make it beyond episode 3. Of the 10% that do, 90% of those do not see episode 21. That means for every 100 podcasts that start, only one shows any longevity. The Postcast listenership continues to grow, and for that, we say thank you. The inaugural episode of the Postcast was first heard on April 29th, 2022. It sounded like this. It's Friday, April 29th, 2022, and this is episode 1 of the Alameda PostCast, an audio service of the Alameda Post. The Alameda Post was created to be a modern, reliable, and trustworthy local news source for all of Alameda. You may have already seen our website, alamedapost.com. Many of you are receiving our weekly newsletter. And now, for when you're on the go, we begin the weekly PostCast, a summary of Alameda news and events that you can listen to anywhere. My name is Scott Peeler, and I'll be your host. I'm a radio broadcasting veteran, but what I do mainly is tell stories, whether as an announcer, sports reporter, theater director, actor, or even reading aloud to children. I love to share stories. I look forward to bringing you the stories that matter every Friday on the Alameda PostCast. Stories that day included Fire Chief Luby addressing City Council on the then brand new CARE team, the discovery of a body in a local shopping plaza, a kickoff for AUSD funding Measure B, as well as developments in the Mario Gonzalez case. How did the Postcast come to be? A little luck and my natural desire to talk to people. My wife and I moved to Alameda, arriving in early February of 2022. Later that month, we decided to attend the Post's very first history walking tour with Dennis Evanosky and publisher Adam Gillett. As Adam and I talked, he said he hoped to start a podcast. I told him I was an announcer and voiceover artist and had my recording set up with me. 2 months later, we were off and running. Since then, we've had 201 regular episodes, 6 specials, plus this one, and 4 Thanksgiving notes telling people it was my week off. Most of the time, the Postcast is fairly upbeat. The one exception, episode 111 in July of 2024. The only time the show has not opened with theme music.
Last night at about 9 p.m., the Alameda Police Department received a call for service. The caller had called in to report that their neighbor was a victim of a shooting.
That was Chief Nishant Joshi speaking at a press conference on the morning of Thursday, July 11th, 2024. On a happier note, I always get a charge out of looking at the statistics for the show. The most listened to episode? Just this past March 20th. The main story that day, the unexpected closure of the Village of Love. The show has been downloaded over 59,000 times to 110 countries and almost 1,900 cities. As you can imagine, Alameda is the #1 destination city and the U.S. the #1 country. Now, it could be VPN use, but we get a strangely high number of downloads in Canada, Sweden, and Germany. The top 10 cities are all in California, predominantly the Bay Area. The number 11 city? North Bergen, New Jersey. I have no idea why. While North America accounts for 97% of downloads, a measurable 1% are attributed to Europe. The only continent missing? Antarctica. This is a show for people on the go. 82% of listeners are on a mobile device. Overwhelmingly, that device is an iPhone, 68%. So it should come as no surprise that Apple Podcasts is the platform that most people are listening to, 40%. As far as where the Postcast lives, it is hosted by Buzzsprout, where it is ranked in the top 25% of all podcasts on that platform by listenership. For the techies in the crowd, The postcast is recorded and edited using Pro Tools on a MacBook Pro. My microphone is a Studio Projects C1. I use a windscreen and a pop filter. My interface is a Focusrite 2i2. I record and mix using Audio-Technica headphones. For the first 4 years, the postcast was recorded in walk-in closets in the apartments I rented. Well, my new home doesn't have any walk-in closets, so starting last episode, I've been using a Viver portable vocal booth. I love the way it sounds, and when company comes, it breaks down and fits into a duffel bag. You can order the home booth from Amazon or Home Depot. The postcast actually led to the creation of another show, The Alameda Connection, on KCSM HD2. While representing the Post at last July's Radio Day by the Bay at the California Historical Radio Society, I struck up a conversation with KCSM General Manager Dr. Robert Franklin. Since September, I've been able to share long-form stories for what makes Alameda such a fascinating place. You can catch the show Sunday mornings at 8 on KCSM HD2 or streaming from kcsm.org. This coming Sunday, my guest is Alameda Chief of Police Nishant Joshi. Speaking of CHRS, I've had the honor on a couple of occasions to teach the students the art of broadcasting. If you're a parent, keep an eye on CHRS activities. There's more to come. I was also recently honored as one of the 16 finalists for the inaugural Bay Area Audiocaster of the Year Award from the Bay Area Radio Hall of Fame. You can cast your vote pretty much as often as you'd like at bayarearadio.org. So, a moment to say thanks as the postcast enters year number 5. With local newsrooms increasingly being gutted by conglomerates, it's my privilege to be part of the team keeping you in touch with what's going on in the Bay Area's island city. Make sure to make AlamedaPost.com your first stop for local news and information. Get the postcast wherever you get your podcasts, or just ask your smart device to play the Alameda PostCast podcast. I'm Scott Peeler, back to the regular format next Friday with episode 202 of the Alameda PostCast.